What is a furry movie? That's a question with a very simple answer, yet many who watch a movie containing animals instantly are driven to believe that all movies with animals are actually furry movies. However, I slightly disagree, and if you want to see this point in detail, well, let's go! Hi everyone, this is Ziley the Fox, and welcome to a brand new video. A good question to ask any furry would be, why are you here? You guys watching this might be furries mainly due to online activity, especially through movies like The Lion King, Balto, or maybe Spirit. I mean, if you're a 90s kid like me, for example, right? But on the other hand, Zootopia, if you're a recently joined furry, could also be a good answer to the question of why are you here? Aha! You got the pattern, didn't you? We share something in common. A movie brought us here. The idea for today's video is to see how a blockbuster like Zootopia can make great material for a new generation of furries to join our fandom, and taking into account the upcoming release of Zootopia 2, I believe it's interesting to discuss how a furry movie or a movie containing animals, on the other hand, can help a community like ours grow. Before starting with the whole video, I'd like to make a distinction between two key aspects. So basically, we should tell apart what I understand as a furry movie from a movie just containing animals. This is a concept that is a bit dumb, but that it has helped me distinguish certain waves of furries joining our fandom. A movie that only features animals would be one that shows a story just as in a fable. From my perspective, when your screen shows animals walking in all fours but talking, the element of feral makes it a movie that only features talking animals, in contrast to, well, you know, other movies. But hear me out, the fact that they are feral characters does not make them any less ancestral than any other movie. But there's a clear difference that makes these films stand apart. That's why I believe The Lion King, for example, is not a furry movie, even if it hurts in my soul, but instead is just an animal movie. Different is the case of classic Robin Hood or more recent movies like Zootopia or The Bad Guys maybe. Films which feature animals but in a more humanized anthropomorphic way. That is to say, not only do they talk, but you see them standing in 2 feet, going about their businesses as humans would in a world where its people are just humanized animals. So, it's not that furry movies are better, but they are, anthropomorphically speaking, closer to what a furry is in the real world. In my case, it was The Lion King that brought me here. Oh my gosh. Story time! Yeah. Well, 2009 Ziley was looking for a wallpaper for his recently bought computer. Yes, my parents bought me a computer, and I just wanted to personalize it. The Lion King, of course. And I decided that a very interesting site called DeviantArt might help me, you know, find that very beautiful wallpaper I wanted. Well, yeah, the one that I found was quite nice, but the style was clearly not the latest Disney one. It dawned on me at that point that this wallpaper was clearly not from the movie. Oh, really? This is clearly a point to say that both furry movies and animal movies create the perfect recipe for furries to be born. Yet, they are neither the only way to make furries nor the most paid attention to. Huh, what does this mean? Well, for starters, comics and visual novels help a lot when bringing furries to the boat. But when it comes to movies, no one generally makes a difference between films like, I don't know, The Lion King, Balto, or maybe Zootopia or The Bad Guys. They just enjoy them. But something is clear, they all contribute to creating a sort of online enthusiasm which migrates into the furry fandom. Sooner or later, you know, it's just there, there's no escaping. Yet, I would like to focus on why this actually happens. And for example, when The Lion King became famous, well, the internet was not nearly half of what it is today. That means that its popularity remained steady through the years, and it made it until the 2009s, which was the time when I found it. Again, this was my case, but I am sure it can shed light on how other movies or series might have caught on, and therefore made it to the World Wide Web. If you remember from the beginning, It wasn't until I decided to look for a wallpaper that I discovered the furry world, especially on DeviantArt. However, I could have found many other sites with even more furry content. And it is this point that matters in this whole theory that I'm trying to communicate. The internet's algorithm works in weird ways, but what does not lack is the search engine through keywords. Supposing you want to look for a wallpaper like any type, there's a big chance that after a few minutes browsing on Google, you might come across a furry site if you are looking for an animal wallpaper. This is something that will apply to both furry movies or movies just featuring animals. The former being, of course, more likely to lead you to a furry site, though, I would like to say. This mechanism can work for many fandoms, like the Pokemon world back in the day, for example, My Little Pony, and mostly nowadays, and seemingly forever, the furry fandom. It only takes a curious viewer to go online to look for some art or just more story on the movie or series, and that's it, boom! It's a matter of time before they run into a furry website. And because I'm an I will do it for this video. Let's try two different series, an animal show and a furry one. For the animal show, I'd like to try, like, I don't know, Belfort and Lupin, one that has been on the spotlight for quite a while, just to make it a little bit more, and because The Lion King, come on, The Lion King, the 90s way a long time ago. And on the other side, well, Zootopia, that's for sure. Let's go and fetch Zootopia, guys. Alright, the first one was Belfort and Lupin. Belfort and Lupin. Let's just look at it, some images. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I want to find, ooh, interesting. Let's see this. Oh, Pseudo on X, Belfort. Look at this beautiful art. What the heck? What do you think this is? It's Facebook? No, it's Twitter, actually. It's taking ages to load. Why? Anyways. Alright. Oh, look at that. A furry. Oh my gosh, look at all these people. Their faces. Guys, it took me only a few seconds to reach furry stuff. Come on. Well, another one could be, for example, the Zootopia case. Let's try Zootopia. Let's talk about Nick Wilde, because it's a character that, you know, most people like. So, Nick Wilde. Ooh, Zootopia. Let's see. Okay, that's, wow, look at, what a cute little animal. What a cute little character. Let's see. Ooh, people cosplaying as Nick Wilde. That's great. Excellent. Plushies. I love plushies. What about this one? Zootopia 10 wild things fans didn't know. Okay, interesting. What is this? Disney Wiki? Zootopia Wiki? Nice. Well, for Zootopia, you know, it's, you know, getting me a while to find some furry stuff, but I am sure it's gonna be. What is this? Nick Wilde definitely has the res. Okay, well, that's probably a video. TikTok, Pinterest, Zootopia, let's see. I want to know more about this character. Look at this. They walk in 2 feet. Alright. Good. Ooh, check this out. More traditional art. I like it. What is this? DeviantArt? What is this site? DeviantArt? Wow. Didn't know that. So let's get furrburu.org. Oh my gosh, this is a furry site? Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, my theory was proved. I am so sorry to... Jesus Christ. Come on. Well, as you can see, it's important to bear in mind that this is very random, and as I was able to find furry stuff in the process of searching for art, this can be repeated for any other type of show. I only tried it with 2 very popular anthro visuals, but it can happen with many other shows or films too. That's why I pose the following question. It's no doubt that Zootopia was key in bringing a new wave of furries into the scene. I myself saw that happen with many friends I have now, and well, I must also acknowledge that Zootopia was a turning point for me since I decided to openly be a furry after years in the shadows. It was Zootopia that first got me into commissioning art of myself, like giving Xylee, my persona, a proper shape as a fox, cause back in the day I used to be a grey wolf, like, guys, I was a generic wolf, okay? I'm sorry for being such a dumb little... Anyways, furry movies like Zootopia, The Butt Guys, maybe even Sing, also have provoked a great impact in the community and in the recent years as well. Alongside with movies featuring animals like the Lion King universe, Brother Bear maybe, and well, maybe old stories like The Jungle Book or Bambi, well, the furry fandom found its path in order to reach new members. How, you might be wondering? Well, through art, through fanfics, and just mere curiosity online. The amalgamation of all these factors combined make the perfect storm for a new wave of furries to turn up at the end of the year. This is why I believe it could be sensible to think that this phenomenon can repeat itself. Just as Zootopia helped many figure out something curious in their lives, that is to say that they were furries, this could happen again once already furries hype up the film online, making it reach the algorithms of non-yet furries, which I believe it's kinda curious. Of course, this theory can be wrong. Just as Zootopia 2 can be a complete success, it can also flop and just have regular numbers like any other furry movie. However, Disney itself has made it clear that they know the market that the furry fandom poses, and the money that they could make if this movie hits again as the first one did. That's why I'm driven to say that this new wave of furries can actually happen. Maybe I don't see it personally, but around the internet it can be seen. In the future, when someone asks why you are here, maybe as I did in the beginning of the video, well, maybe some might say, I'm here because of Zootopia. And the other person curiously says, well, that's interesting, I'm here because of how cute Gary was, you know? Implying, of course, that Zootopia 2 brought them here. So, in conclusion, a furry movie differs from a movie which only features animals in terms of walking dynamics and how each character interacts in each given setting. While movies like Brother Bear explore more naturalistic environments, The Bad Guys or Zootopia features a closer outlook on the world as that of human beings. Such difference might account for a good portion of anthropomorphic enjoyment, which is mostly, or at least what I think is mostly, what new furries are attracted to. Should Zootopia 2 surpass the expectations and the narrative from its first movie, well, I believe this new wave of furries can definitely arrive at the end of November, once the movie hits the theaters. What do you guys think? Is Zootopia 2 a possible scenario that could attract new furries? I'll read your opinions in the comments. To me, it's very likely. And not just because of what I said, but because we always enjoy a good animalistic world disguising our daily lives. We saw it on books as kids, and now we want to enjoy them in the movies as grown-ups. But again guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, like, share it with your friends to find out what they think, and if you like the content of this channel, consider subscribing. I try to keep a weekly video posting schedule with shorts in the middle, so maybe you can check them out too if you want to. I hope you guys have a great week, and see you all in the next one. Take good care of yourselves, everyone. Meow.